Welcome students. Today we are going to learn something very interesting. Are you ready for that? Let's learn together. There are many types of changes that is happening around us. It includes physical changes and chemical changes. Today we are going to learn chemical changes in detail. So what is a chemical change? Chemical change means any substance that changes its chemical properties is known as chemical change. In this change, a new substance is formed and these changes are irreversible. Irreversible means they cannot be brought back to their original form. Also, these changes are permanent in nature. Now let us look at some examples of chemical changes from our day-to-day life. It includes fireworks, frying eggs, photosynthesis, burning wood, combustion of propane, digestion, etc. Here, we are classifying these chemical changes into three branches: thermochemical reactions, photochemical reactions, and electrochemical reactions. Let us discuss each of them in detail. The first one is thermochemical reactions. A thermochemical reaction is a chemical reaction that involves the absorption or release of heat. That is, thermochemical reactions mainly deals with heat. Again, the thermochemical reactions can be classified into two types: exothermic reactions and endothermic reactions. Exothermic reaction means it is a reaction that releases energy from the system in the form of heat. That is, in this type of reaction, the heat is liberated out of the system. The next one is the endothermic reaction. It is a reaction that the system absorbs energy from its surrounding in the form of heat. That is, in this type of reaction, the heat is absorbed into the system. Now let us look at the three examples for exothermic reactions. The first one is the reaction of sodium and potassium with water. The second one is the reaction of magnesium and hydrochloric acid. And the third one is the neutralization reaction of an alkali and an acid. Let's analyze each of these reactions in detail. The first one is the reaction of sodium and potassium with water. Here you can see when we are adding sodium and potassium into the water, it creates a vigorous reaction with water. As a result of this reaction, the heat is liberated out. Second example is the reaction of magnesium and hydrochloric acid. Here you can see when we are dropping some magnesium ribbon into hydrochloric acid, a reaction is carrying out. As a result of this reaction, magnesium chloride and hydrogen gas is formed and heat is also liberated as a byproduct. The last example for exothermic reaction is the neutralization reaction between an acid and an alkali. Here we have taken sodium hydroxide as the alkali and we have added phenolphthalein to give its pink color. And when we are pouring hydrochloric acid to the solution, we can observe that after a few drops, the color of the solution is getting disappeared. This is due to the neutralization reaction that happened between an acid and an alkali. Heat is also liberated out in this reaction. Next one is the endothermic reactions. The reactions in which the heat is absorbed into the system. The two examples for endothermic reactions are burning of magnesium and heating of potassium permanganate. Let's discuss them in detail. The first example of endothermic reaction is the burning of magnesium. Here we can see that when we are given a heat to the system, the magnesium ribbon absorbs the heat and it burns with a dazzling white flame. Thus the reaction has happened here by the absorption of heat. The next example for endothermic reaction is the heating of potassium permanganate. When we are heating the potassium permanganate absorbs the heat and it changes to potassium manganate, manganese dioxide and oxygen. The burning stick catches the fire due to the liberation of oxygen. The second type of chemical reaction that we are going to discuss is the photochemical reactions. Chemical reactions which liberate or absorb light energy are known as photochemical reactions. Let's look at the examples for photochemical reactions. The first one is photosynthesis and the second one is the decomposition of silver bromide in sunlight. Let's analyze these examples in detail. So the first one is photosynthesis. Most of us are familiar with the process of photosynthesis. It is because of photosynthesis the life sustains on Earth. In the process of photosynthesis, the plants absorb sunlight, carbon dioxide and water, and as a result of the chemical reactions happened in plants, they produces oxygen and glucose. So clearly, photosynthesis can be considered as an example for photochemical reaction. Decomposition of silver bromide in sunlight is the another example for photochemical reaction. If we are keeping the yellow colored silver bromide in sunlight, after some time we can see that a color change has happened here. The color of the silver bromide changed from light yellow to grey color. This color change is due to the decomposition of silver bromide as a result of the absorption of sunlight. So this reaction can also be called as an example for photochemical reaction. The next type of chemical reaction is the electrochemical reactions. Chemical reactions in which electrical energy is consumed or produced are known as electrochemical reactions. Let's look at the examples for electrochemical reactions. Here we are discussing 4 examples for electrochemical reactions. They are electrolysis, electrochemical cells, reaction of acids with metals, and electroplating. The first one is the electrolysis. The process in which a substance undergoes decomposition by the absorption of electrical energy is known as electrolysis. A diagrammatic representation of electrolysis is given. Here we have taken a solution of copper sulfate as the electrolyte and 2 carbon rods as electrodes. When electricity is passed through the setting, we can see that a reaction is happening there. After passing electricity for some time, we can see that the copper gets deposited at the cathode. So, as a result of this absorption of electricity, the observations from these experiments are: during this electrolysis reaction, copper metal is deposited at cathode and oxygen gas is liberated at anode. Also, in the electrolyte, the blue color of the copper sulfate becomes paler due to the formation of sulfuric acid. The next example for electrochemical reaction is the electrochemical cells. An electrochemical cell is a device that can generate electrical energy from the chemical reactions occurring in it. Here is the diagrammatic representation of an electrochemical cell. Here we have taken copper and zinc electrodes which is dipped in dilute sulfuric acid. If we are connecting this setting with using wires, and if the wires are connected to a bulb, the bulb glows with the production of electricity. The bulb glows as a result of electricity produced by the chemical reaction happen here. The next example for electrochemical reaction is the reaction of acids with metals. We know lemon and many other fruits contain acids. Electricity is produced here by the reaction of these acids with metals. For the production of electricity using lemon, the positive and negative terminal of the lemon is made with the help of copper and zinc rods. Then we connected each of them by using a wire. This whole arrangement is connected to an LED bulb. Here we can see the bulb glows due to the production of electricity. The last example for electrochemical reaction is the electroplating. Electricity is used to obtain a thin coating of a particular metal on other metallic object. This process is known as electroplating. The figure shows a metallic object which is made as a result of electroplating. Here is the diagrammatic representation of electroplating. Here we are considering the plating of copper over another metal. For that, we first prepare a solution of copper sulfate. Here we have to plate the copper over a spoon. So we put the spoon in the negative terminal and copper in the positive terminal. After passing 2 minutes of electricity through it, we can see that the spoon is coated with copper. So these are the major chemical changes. Let's summarize the whole topic. The major idea we have discussed in this session is chemical changes. So, what is a chemical change? Any substance that changes its chemical properties is known as chemical change. It is a permanent change. The chemical reactions can be simply classified into 3 types: thermochemical reactions, photochemical reactions, and electrochemical reactions. Now let's look back to the thermochemical reaction. A thermochemical reaction is a chemical reaction that involves the absorption or release of heat. Similarly, chemical reactions which liberate or absorb light energy are known as photochemical reactions. And what is electrochemical reactions? Chemical reactions in which electrical energy is consumed or produced are known as electrochemical reactions. So these are the major ideas that we have discussed till now. Now let us discuss some questions and answers on this topic to determine our level of understanding about the topic, the chemical changes. The first question is, heat is liberated in which type of reaction? The answer is exothermal reactions. Second question is, give an example for reaction of absorption of light. Its answer can be photosynthesis or the decomposition of silver bromide in sunlight. The next question is, what is the name of the process of plating of one metal over another? We know the process is electroplating. Next question is, electrochemical cell is an example of which type of chemical reaction? Here the question itself has the answer, so the answer is electrochemical reaction. So that's all about the chemical reactions. Now I have given some extended activities for you to practice. Please go through the questions and try to find out the answers. I'm very sure that it will be an easy task for you. I hope you have a clear understanding about the chemical changes, and thank you so much for listening to the class.